Hello you guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am vlogging for you guys and I feel, obviously, it's not that I feel, it's the truth, that I obviously have not been, let me drop the exposure here. I obviously know I have not been uploading as many vlogs as usual, but as I told you guys in my last video that I featured Omar in at the beginning, I've been going through quite a rough patch of anxiety and OCD stuff. So it has been very, very difficult for me, I'd say in the last week, to actually get myself to get out of bed, eat, train. I mean, for an example, yesterday I woke up at 10, slept in again until 1:30, and I literally stayed in bed until almost 7 o'clock because I ended up going to a movie with my friend. So I'm gonna have a super real talk with you guys later on, but it's Monday, it's a new week. I'm trying my best to be as level-headed, positive, clear thinking as possible, but I do think it's going to help me a lot to talk to you guys a little more in depth, not telling you what my anxiety and OCD stuff is about, but at least talking to you guys, because there always seems to be a positive response. It seems to help you guys as well when I open up, and it helps me more than you could possibly imagine, just to talk it out. So right now I'm actually getting ready to go and train. I'm going to weigh myself because I'm honestly quite convinced I've lost maybe 5 pounds this week due to lack of eating, which I do not encourage at all. I'm supposed to be bulking right now. So I'll weigh myself, I'll check you guys in with that. But I wouldn't expect today's video to be super positive. I'm gonna try my best, but at the same time I'm not gonna fake how I'm feeling. But right now I'm feeling pretty good. That's what even got me to pull out this camera and start recording. So gonna head to the gym, hopefully have a killer squat day, leg day, and hopefully have some endorphins running through my body, and then we'll have a talk towards the end of the video. So thanks so much for your guys' patience during this little difficult patch that I'm going through. So I will see you guys in a bit. I did already weigh myself, but I'm gonna weigh myself again so you guys can see. But fully closed, empty stomach, I weighed 50.5 kilograms, which is about 111.5, so I'm assuming if I was undressed, I'd be more like 110.5. But I did just eat a little bit, so I'm gonna show you guys just for proof. So I just ate, and I'm now holding a camera, so it looks like I've put on 1.5 pounds. Like I said, I did just finish eating. I'm fully clothed, and I'm holding a particularly heavy camera. But actually, let me see if it makes a difference without the camera. Hold on. That made a huge difference. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It is particularly disappointing to see that I've lost 5 pounds, and I know this could be one of those things where people are like, well, why aren't you just taking care of yourself? Why aren't you just feeling yourself? Because it is easier said than done. So guys, I'm practically as lean as I was right when I started the cut. This is just after eating. It's not like I'm like ripped, but I've definitely lost weight. You can see it especially in my legs. My butt always tends to stay the same, but my legs are looking really, really, really thin from what I'm used to. Today, as per coach, I told him obviously that I was going through some things and feeling really, really stressed out. So he said for today to obviously follow the program, but don't focus on numbers, focus on what feels good, what makes the training enjoyable. So that's a quick update on my physique and on my weight, and go ahead and get training started. new best friend. Yes.
Is that like muscular endurance or whatever the fuck it is?
Look at that pretty face. What is up, guys? So, if there is anything that I take immense pride in on my channel, it's my recent, more so, transparency with you guys. Of course, I like to keep some things private and personal to myself, but when it comes to things that I think will help me in terms of just talking out loud and talking about these things and maybe help you guys to realize you're not alone, I'm all for it. So yes, I had a relapse with anxiety and it absolutely sucks. It is probably one of the most common occurrences in people today, but it's something that everybody seems to be so ashamed and so afraid to talk about, and I was one of those people, but I'm also just getting to a point where I'm like, yo, this is a part of me. If you don't like it, then you could just peace out. If you do like it, then great, stick around. You're probably gonna have anxiety at some point in your life too. So I had a relapse. My last video that I talked about anxiety was all about like, here's what I do to make it feel better, or like, here's what I do to like help myself and make things better and so forth, but yeah, sometimes those things don't even work and you feel a bit scared and trapped and alone. What I can tell you guys is that for myself, anxiety-wise, I do struggle with just overall generalized anxiety disorder. I have had depression in the past, and I also have something called pure O OCD. So it's not OCD compulsive, like touching things, it's like obsessing over thoughts and like not being able to kick them and all of that. So I just want to have a bit of a real talk with you guys about where I've been mentally and apologize for the lack of consistency on my end, because it's a bit unfortunate. But basically, yes, those are my two things right now. Generalized anxiety along with OCD pure O. And it is super hard. And there's all types of pure O, like some don't even have categories, but it's basically just not being able to let an intrusive thought go. That's the definition behind it. And compulsions normally come from, you know, reassuring thoughts, researching things, all of that. So if you have pure O, if you're familiar with OCD in general and you have OCD, feel free to comment below, talk to me, tell me a little bit about your life, make me feel less alone. It's always a beautiful thing to be open and share these things with people, because I don't believe it's something we should be ashamed of. It's something that is a part of us. It's an actual chemical imbalance, and we have to learn to accept every side of ourselves, even though we so badly want it to just disappear. It's very hard to do that, so we have to accept these things. The impact that anxiety has had on me recently is, this is probably the worst it's been in a very, very long time, and each day I'm trying to become a little bit better, but each day it feels like it's getting a little bit worse. But for myself personally, I lose my appetite. As you guys saw on the scale, I've lost 5 pounds, which is super unfortunate. I was about 115 just a couple weeks ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago, and now I'm back down to 110.5 pounds. Like I said, the scale said like 111.5, which I'd be happier with that, but I was fully clothed and I had already eaten. So I lost some weight. I've not been eating enough. I have to force myself to eat food. On top of that, I push a lot of people away from me. I slacked off almost the entire week in training. I think I went to the gym 2 times, tried to go another 2 times, showed up and just ended up leaving. And I spend a lot of time in bed. Think about someone who's depressed. That's basically what it is. On top of the depression, there's anxiety with it though, which is so crappy, because I've been depressed and I know what it's like to lie in bed all day and mope and be depressed and sad, and that's a horrible feeling. But feeling that along with depression and like hopelessness, it's horrible. So not to say one is worse than the other, but from experiencing both, this one is much harder, because for myself, anxiety is like when I feel my heart racing and all of that. Ugh, it's horrible. I'm feeling actually pretty good right now, which is why I feel comfortable enough to sit down and even talk about these things without feeling like it's gonna spike my anxiety up again. But I guess I just want to say that I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry that I am going through this. And I shouldn't be sorry, actually. I really shouldn't be apologizing for the fact that I need a mental break from social media. But the fact of the matter is, social media sometimes doesn't help. Whether you could be getting all the support in the world or you could be getting 0 support and you can be getting hate. But having to constantly check in and be the best version of yourself and having people have that expectation of you is very hard, and it puts so much pressure on you. I was actually talking to somebody recently who told me anxiety is actually higher in those who are heavily involved in social media, because there's all these constant pressures that are always targeting you. Thankfully, you guys don't do this with me. I like to think I have a kick-ass audience who is always very understanding, but I've seen other people when they're going through and people are like, well, why aren't you uploading content? Like, where are you? What about us? Why don't you care about us? And it's like, whoa, it is not about caring about you guys. It's about taking care of yourself first, because there are some times when we're like, yo, it might be nice to take the day off and have a mental health day to myself where it doesn't involve any of that. For me, I needed a week. I might even need some more time in the future, you know? But I'm also sorry I haven't been more open with you guys because I like to do as much as I can in terms of always being real and being myself. I think that's what helps me be so relevant to you guys and make you feel connected, is because I am just like you guys. I'm just a regular human being going through it. So I'm going through a rough patch right now. I have no doubt that I'm gonna get through this. You know, I'm continuing to do therapy and working on making strides to just having a happier and healthier me and life. If you're going through this, I'm gonna say what everybody says to you, but I hope this resonates with you, and that's just to realize that this feels like it's gonna last forever. This is some advice for myself too. Although this feels like it's gonna last forever, realize it doesn't. There's always a way out. You may always have anxious fits and moments where you genuinely feel like you're dying. I had a panic attack yesterday. It was the third one I've ever had in my life. I have anxiety attacks all the time, but panic attacks are, I'll put the symptoms here, but it's like, you know, tightness in your chest, feeling like you can't breathe, feeling disconnected, all of these horrible symptoms all at once. And yeah, those things might happen sometimes, but just remember that you're not alone. There are forums of people who are talking about the things they're going through, and I guarantee someone is going through the same thing as you, a similar situation, a similar feeling, and it's just important for all of us to realize that we're not alone in this, and that there is a way out, and to just not let it consume you, because once you let it consume you, you are letting it win. Learn to just accept some of your thoughts and your fears. I don't know, this is just a talk. There's no real goal, but expect a couple more of these, because this is very therapeutic for me to just talk about my feelings, and especially with you guys, because anytime I've talked about anxiety in the past, you guys seem to really relate to that and feel connected to that, and that touches my soul a lot, because it makes me feel more connected with you guys, and that's not a lie. When I read you guys' comments and you tell me about some of the things you've been through, some of your stories, what you feel anxious about, what you have OCD about, like, it's so amazing, because we're creating this platform where we're all going through it together. So anyway, guys, that is pretty much my talk for today, but just always remember, you're not alone in this. You're gonna get through this. You're gonna have spikes. You're gonna have moments where you do not want to get up, you do not want to go to work, you don't want to do anything, but I promise you, at that exact moment, and it's so much easier said than done, but at that moment, you need to figure out how to get your ass out of bed, whether it's to take a class, whether it's to go and meditate, go for a walk, I don't care, but you need to get yourself out. Do not let it paralyze you, do not let it trap you, because that is the first step to letting it basically consume you. And if you're already doing that now, you have the power in you to change that. So get up, get out, do something. Don't let it consume you, because you do not want to let anxiety and OCD win. You're stronger than that. So anyway, guys, that's my little pep talk. I'm gonna turn this camera off now, and I'm gonna edit this and upload it for you guys. I love you guys so much. Besitos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.